Hello, welcome to Salt City Knits podcast. I am Emily, and this is a podcast all about my making life. So today I am going to have a life update with my cute husband, Richard, and I will be showing some finished objects. And I actually I have a couple of works in progress, I think. And then we're going to talk about shop news at the end. And for those of you who have been watching my Easter vlogs, you'll know that Richard has been creating his own colorway. So he has dyed his own gorgeous colorway that we will be showing at the very end, and we will be having a giveaway associated with that. So definitely stay till the end if you're interested in that. Speaking of giveaways, we are coming down to the very end of the Salt City Knits Cal. So I am really just so excited for this knit along. We've had some really fun entries, and all that is for you to make any Salt City Knits pattern and post it on Instagram with the hashtag Salt City Knits KAL, and you'll be entered to win one of 3 prizes. So we have some wonderful prizes. So we have the Cordsmith tool. In fact, let me grab the prizes. Okay, so those prizes, let me show them to you because we have a new prize that was added to our list. So first we have the Cordsmith tool, along with your choice of Salt City Knits pattern from my shop. This is an I-cord tool. The second, these are not listed in any specific order, but the next prize is this gorgeous, gorgeous set of 3 skeins of fingering weight yarn. I really want to take them out of this bag because the organza bag just hides the richness of these beautiful colors. Here we go. I want to show those to you. Oh yeah, that's so much better. You can see how beautiful these are. Look at those gorgeous colors. These are Big Sky Yarn Company in the colors High Tide and Forest and Rawhide. And this is a backcountry shawl kit, which will also come with the backcountry shawl pattern. And then we have another just wonderful viewer, Susan, who is from Delightful Works, who donated this gorgeous project bag. Look how cute this is. I don't want to take it out of the plastic, but look at the cute little sheep. Beautiful drawstring bag. I have one of Susan's bags. I have my sock, what am I trying to say? Summer sock camp bag. I have a bag that I used for that. It's a cute little camping bag. So that is from Susan, who donated that for our giveaway. So we have 3 beautiful prizes. So make sure to post any projects that you are making, any Salt City Knits projects. You do not have to have finished it. So if you are in progress, including if you were a test knitter for me, you can tag your project on Instagram with Salt City Knits Cal and be entered to win one of those prizes. This is our last week to enter. So I will be drawing prizes the first week of April, but the giveaway closes, the knit along closes at the end of March. So Sunday is the last day. So let's start with a life update. So we haven't recorded for 2 weeks. So what is happening in our lives now?
How long is this supposed to be?
Yeah, exactly. Well, last time we recorded, we talked about how Richard had a job, and so he was going to be working with me in the Yarnberry for a little bit, but that he would be starting a new job soon. Yeah. Well, that fell through. Again, the location that they were going to be opening up, that he was going to go work at, they decided, or at least we don't even know. Yeah. It doesn't look like they're going to open it anymore. So we have just been full-time Yarnberry, right?
Full-time.
Yeah, and it's good that Richard's around because he's keeping me moving. He's like, all right, what are we working on today? What are we working on today? So
well, I'm glad that you're the one that is the artsy side of things, because
Yeah.
You know, I can go out and do, let's see, what did you call it? Grunt work?
The grunt work.
I can do the grunt work, and then you can make it look good. So.
Yeah, and I get to be the brains of the operation, meaning...
In more ways than one, that's right. Yeah.
Not that you're not the brains as well, but that you rely on my experience and my, insight as a knitter, like what products do we want?
Right.
And my past experience, obviously. So he's my employee now. He doesn't get paid very well, though. I still keep all the money, but I kept all the money when you were the one bringing in all the income too.
Yeah,
so.
See, you were the brains of the operation.
That's how it goes. So the other thing we've been spending a lot of time on is heroic youth. And we've talked about that before in the podcast, but we had all of our youth leader interviews. So at the beginning of the training season, we do this intake process, and we have 250 teenagers this year. So we had to interview 250 kids. Now we only interviewed half. We interviewed the boys side. They're the kids that we work with the most. But that was a little over a week of work for that, and it's pretty amazing. I mean,
they're great kids.
Yeah.
We had great insights and got to know a bunch of kids, because we used to do over the past couple of years. We used to do those interviews over Zoom.
Yeah, since 2020.
And it was not the same connection, but
we missed doing it in person.
It was wonderful this time. So.
Yeah, I mean, the kids that come in from out of state and out of country, we still do on Zoom, but all the rest of the kids we got to do in person, and it was really great. But it's exhausting. I mean, it's just so long. You have like the same conversation over and over 125 times. So.
Sometimes with the same response.
Right.
Everywhere, but we had the one Saturday that was like 12, 13 hours of...
It was, 13 straight hours.
Sitting and talking, which is, I mean, okay for some people, but I don't like that.
It's a long time. And it's amazing how just sitting there can be so tiring. Like, you're just so tired by the end. So
but if it was just conversation with the same person, that would be different. But
yeah, because you could like go in depth.
Like 35, 40 kids in a day, so it made it go faster.
It was good though. It was really, really successful. And we have amazing volunteers. They're so great. That made the whole process work really well. Because it's not just us. Like, we're the ones sitting in one room doing the interviews, but then we have a whole staff that's like helping check in people and doing some trainings with them and meeting with the parents and talking about volunteering. And anyway, it's just a lot. So anyway, it was really good. That's the main stuff, I think. Although this weekend...
Oh, it's the retreat.
That's right. We have a couples retreat this weekend that we do twice a year. So we do a fall one and a spring one, and we get together with just really good friends. In fact, this is our 10th. This is the 10th anniversary. Well, 10 years. We started in 2014 with this group. So we all bring food and snacks and our comfiest clothes, and I'll bring knitting and crocheting, and we'll sit around and talk about our discussion topic for the year. We have a different theme each year, and it's really fun. But that's fun because we get to have a little getaway.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be really nice.
Yeah. So I won't necessarily be your work slave there.
No, just my slave.
Just what? Okay.
I just said my slave. You'll just be my slave. Moving on. Okay. You're blushing now.
I am? I don't blush.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that's the general gist of our life update, right?
Yeah, in general.
All right. I'm going to move some things. Here we go. All right. Let's talk about finished objects. And I have to start with my sweater. Look how pretty it turned out. I absolutely love how this sweater turned out. This is the Evanescence cardigan by Joji Locatelli. I knit it. It calls originally for 2 strands of lace weight mohair held together. I knit it with 1 strand of fingering weight yarn and 1 strand of Surrey alpaca. And therefore I went down 2 sizes and up 2 needle sizes. Does that make sense? So I went up 2 needle sizes so I could get the right fabric. And then I knit 2 sizes smaller than what I would normally have knit. Because this is bulkier than what the pattern normally calls for. And then the needle size I upped so that I could get the nice drape. If I had stayed on the same needle size, it would have been a little bit too stiff of a fabric. And it fits so good. The only issue I have is the sleeves. Let's see, they kind of bunch up here. You can't really see it right now because I'm sitting down, but they're a little bit too long. But I have not been overly bothered by that. I have been wearing it with a cuff. I've just been rolling up my cuff, and that has been sufficient. And the only good thing about the fact that we have a cold, rainy week this week is that I get another week to wear this before it warms up. So I'll put in a little bit, some photos or videos here for you to see it with me standing up, but I really love how it turned out. The other thing that I changed is that I did not do the I-cord edging. I instead did a little crochet scallop edging, and I love it. I think it makes this even better. I love how the edging looks. It's so pretty and delicate. And it took an hour and a half instead of the week and a half that it would have taken me to do an applied I-cord bind off across the entire sweater. I started doing that I-cord and I just didn't like it. I hated the process of doing it. I do not mind an I-cord bind off, but an applied I-cord I do not enjoy. But the added issue of having the suri with it, which means every stitch has just that extra little bit of resistance with all the fluff. And every pick up stitch is not as clean to pick it up. I just did not like it at all. I hated doing it, and I didn't really love how it looked. And there is a sweater, which I cannot remember the name, of a recently released cardigan that has a crocheted scallop border on it. That is knit with, I don't know if it's mohair or suri, but it's got a little bit of, something fuzzy with it. And I really love how pretty that was. And so it was kind of in the back of my mind when I decided to do this version. Now I am realizing my camera is higher than I would like it. So I'm going to drop it down just a minute. There, I think that's better. I've recorded some of the segments of this podcast a little out of the order that you are watching it in. So the camera is going to do this apparently. Forgive me. So I really love this. And all I did was 5 double crochets into 1 stitch, skip 2 stitches, single crochet, skip 2 stitches, 5 double crochets, skip 2 stitches, single crochet around. And I love how it turned out so much. I'm thrilled with that. Now, the downside is I am wearing this with navy blue shirt and navy blue leggings. And I will tell you what, you probably can't see it in the camera, but I am covered, with fuzz. The downside, covered with fuzz. And once I take it off, I'm sure in the armpits, it'll be especially, it's going to be especially fuzzy there. So that's the downside of this sweater, but it's so cozy. The colors are beautiful. It's so soft. And mohair to me is not as soft as suri. It's got a little bit of scratch to it, but this suri is just, it's just dreamy. I've talked extensively about the yarns for this in other episodes, so I will just say they are from Fuzzy Peach Fibers, and I bought them all together last year, and I absolutely think they're stunning. So, and then I held them with a Bear Suri Alpaca lace weight, which is my Romance Cloud lace base. So that's my first finished object. Next up are my socks. Oh my goodness, you guys, I love these so much. These are the Gathering Shells socks. This is a pattern that I released a few years ago, and I've been wanting to make it ever since. I'm gonna pull this off the blocker. I just haven't prioritized making them, but oh my goodness, I love how they turned out. Aren't they so pretty? This is a ribbed lace pattern. And I knit this with our Made the Match Myself sock set, which is an Emma collection sock set. And I just absolutely love how they turned out. I'm so excited to add these to my sock drawer. I just think they're beautiful. These are knit top down, and I have to remember how many sizes the pattern comes in. I think it's 3 sizes that the pattern comes in. I knit the medium, which is a 64 stitch, and yeah, I just absolutely love it. So I finished these last night. I stayed up because I was so close to being done. And I thought, oh, I'm just gonna hurry and get these done because I really wanted to block them so I could show them to you today. And it's amazing because while you're knitting them, not only is it lace and so it kind of crumples up, but it's also ribbed lace because there's columns of purl stitches in between each of these lace panels, if you will. And so they're even more like scrunchy. They don't look like much while you're knitting them. And then you block them and it's magic. Blocking magic. Oh, I love them. So yes, that's Gathering Shells and knit with our Made the Match Myself sock set. And I absolutely love them. And these are definitely for me. So I've been very excited to wear those. All right, those are my 2 finished objects. Before I talk about my work in progress, I want to show you a couple of little pattern snippets. So the Dixie Creek cowl pattern is now live. It's available. And I had the most fun with my test knitters with this pattern. It was just so great. So they are wonderful. And I really appreciate any of you who were test knitters. So this cowl pattern is now available on Ravelry and on Etsy and at yarnberry.com. And I just wrapped up the test knit for the Mountain Vista socks. We've named it Mountain Vista. And this pattern should be live by the time you watch this video. So look at those fun little zigzags. Again, great test knit. My test knitters really loved doing this, which is so, it just makes me so happy. I think these are a very addictive sock set or sock pattern. And it's designed for either self-striping or using scraps or minis. It's definitely made to make the most of these stripy color changes by giving you these little V's within that. All right, now I only have 1 work in progress, mostly because I finished my socks last night. And so I had 2 up until that point. I'm sure I'll be casting on another pair of socks or a hat or, another small project that's an easy take with me kind of project. But having a waterfall of sock blockers. Here we go. Okay. In this darling, darling bag from my friend Sina. Look how cute that is. She made that bag. I have a really fun project. So for our knitting group, we had, in fact, Deborah, my sister, had put out a little note in our chat and just said, is anybody interested in doing kind of an Easter Advent swap? And there were just a few of us who decided to do it. So Sina ended up having me, and she made me this, like I said, cute, cute bag. And I've had all my little gifts in there. And so I've had some little minis that I've been opening. And I decided to crochet a wrap. I knew I wanted to crochet something for our swap or for this Advent project. And So I went and looked at some patterns. And if you watch my Easter vlogs, you've seen this before, but I found the Bantam Wrap, and I'll put the link below. It is by Deanne Ramsey, who is at addieday.com. And again, link below, but it's called Bantam. And it is a wrap that is designed to use kind of leftovers plus a main color. I would say it's designed to use mini skeins. The only thing is it is for the scarf version, which is the size that I am knitting. But this pattern comes in 3 different widths. And then every width you can make either the shorter version or the longer version. And so I am doing the narrowest one because that's the only one that would work for a 20-gram mini. And so if you want to do the wider versions, you would need to have more like partial skeins left over. She tells you, she's very clear at telling you what yardage you would need to have for each of your colors based on which width you make. So that was easy for me to tell. And this is where I am so far. Now it is crocheted where you are increasing on one side every row and decreasing on the other side every row to give you this creation on the bias. And of course it is not blocked or anything, but I love how it's turning out. It's got this beautiful texture to it. And it alternates narrow stripes with this lacy pattern. And I'm just starting to, as you can see, I've been striping in my 3rd color so far. And it's just beautiful. It took me a while to get rolling. And, but now I'm rolling. I've got it in my head. I can do it. It did take me a little bit. I'm not as proficient of a crocheter as I am as a knitter. And so it just took me longer to get rolling, but isn't that fun? And, it's just a beautiful wrap, and it's got these rows where you work into the back loop only, so you get some really pretty texture there, which is way prettier in person than it's showing on the camera, but I just love it. So yeah, my main color that I'm using is this beautiful yarn. This is a Hobby Lobby colorway from their hand dyed, I think they call it artisan hand dyed yarn. It's a 100% superwash merino fingering weight yarn with 400 yards to 100 grams. And I don't remember the colorway name right now, but I don't think it's one they carry anymore. Actually, I think it was called Flamingo, which I think is not, I mean, it doesn't really make sense to me. It's very, 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 very pale pink, but it has all these little blue speckles in it. So that's the colorway. I have a ton of this. I really liked it, and it was on this crazy, amazing sale. And at the Hobby Lobby that's closest to me. In Utah, we have craft stores everywhere. You should know that about Utah. It's a very high crafting population. So craft stores are everywhere, whether it's a Michael's, a Hobby Lobby, or a Joann's. Those 3 are going to be everywhere. So the one that's closest to me had like 3 skeins, and I thought I would love to make a sweater out of this. So I went to the other one that's a little bit farther away, and I think they had 2. And I thought, but I'd like to make a little bit longer sweater. So I asked my knitting group, could you guys go to any Hobby Lobbies by you? We're a little spread out around the valley. And so 2 of my friends, Margaret and Marilyn, went to their closest Hobby Lobbies. And between the 2 of them, they found 5 more. So I ended up with 10 skeins of this. And while I do plan on eventually making like a duster length probably wrap, it's fingering weight yarn. I'm not going to need 10 skeins. So yeah, I'm definitely happy to use some of that for this wrap. And then I'm using some of the minis that I got in my little swap. So here's the one I'm working with right now. Let's see, let me pull out these. And these are my upcoming colorways. So this one will be next. Wait, is it? Yeah, this one will be next, and then this one, and then that one. So that's where I am so far. So we're going purples into blues is where we are. And this has been really fun. It's a great way. Easter is such a big deal to our family, and I know for lots of families, that I love finding ways to celebrate it and make it a bigger deal, if that makes sense. So kind of having this fun project, and I've been listening to some gorgeous music and scripture while I'm working on it, and that's been really a fun thing. And right now, like I said, that's my only work in progress. I haven't really touched my blanket since I started that, because my blanket is like, I'm trying to focus on this Advent. So this is where my blanket is right now. Isn't it so fun though? I just pick it up and look at it and I think, oh, it's just so fun. I love it. So I haven't really made much progress since we last talked, but it's sitting. It can hibernate a little bit. It'll be fine. That's all I have, but I definitely want to start something else. I think I want to knit something for Richard with one of my new colorways that you'll see at the end from our new collection. He loves two of them so much, and so I think he's not in here right now, so I can say that I think I want to pull one of those and knit him like a hat or something like that with one of those colorways. So I will probably do that. All right, next is going to be our shop news, and I want to start with something that is completely new to our shop, and then I'm going to bring Richard in and we will talk about yarn. But the first thing is I've been making a few project bags to add to our shop, and I have gorgeous, absolutely beautiful quilting fabrics that either have gone into a quilt or that I purchased thinking someday I might make a quilt with this, but I haven't yet, and I thought I'm gonna start using those. So this one came from fabrics that I used for my son Ethan and his wife Tannen for their wedding quilt. And it has a different top panel on each side. And all three of these are lined with a kind of a batik chambray type fabric. And yeah, this one has double pocket inside. This fabric also came from that quilt. And then this one has a little zipper charm. So I've got just one of those. And then I have two of these. And these came from, actually this fabric was also in that quilt. But then these are just some other fabrics that I had from a different project that I put in. So it's the same lining, and you've got the double pocket right here. And these have a drawstring, and this is a narrow cord drawstring. And these are medium-sized bags. So these would be good for a shawl project. And they're all, this one's quilted. This one has a little bit wider spacing on the quilting, and this one has a little narrower spacing on the quilting. And then this one has one single pocket. But I had so much fun making those bags, and I definitely have a lot more bags in the works. In fact, I have quite a few of them, some patchwork quilted bags coming up that are cut out, and the patchwork part of them is made, and so they're in progress, but life has been a little crazy. So these bags will be in my shop, and I think they're beautiful. They're definitely my style of fabrics. I just absolutely love them. So yeah, those three bags will be in the shop, and then I'll have more bags to add later. But I'm gonna bring Richard back, and then we will show you the yarn, and you'll get to see the yarn that Richard dyed and help us name it so you could win some yarn yourself. All right, so here is what's coming up in the shop. We have a lot to share. So first off, we have a ton of Jane Austen colorways right now. We've got 6 different sock sets in stock. And so let's just go through those. So let's start with our Emma colorway, our Emma sock set. And I showed this last time, but I'm really excited for you to see this again because I have you saw my socks that I made. I love this one. So this is made to match myself. And these I'm showing you all on contemporary sock, which is 80/20 merino nylon 2-ply. So that's made to match myself. I love it. Just like those socks you saw. It's just so fun. All right. And then next, let's talk about our Pride and Prejudice sets, which we have 3 of. Oh, you know what? I lied. There's another Emma set. I love this one. This is called Highbury. Oh, isn't that pretty? This is hard. Turquoise and mints are really hard to photograph. They like to blow out, but it's looking pretty true right there. Oh, also made the match myself, that set. Guess who dyed this right here? Who did it? You did it.
I did.
Yeah, he did. He dyed this one entirely, and it's perfect. So those are our 2 Emma sets that are currently in stock.
Now, to be fair, you told me how to do it.
Yes, but you did it. No, that's amazing. All right, now we have 3 Pride and Prejudice colorways in stock.
Is it this one?
Yep. So we have this is Handsome Enough to Tempt Me. Here, I better hold one at a time. Oh, I just think that's beautiful. Handsome Enough to Tempt Me. And then we have Most Ardently. And we have Grounds at Pemberley. Oh, I love this one. So that's Grounds at Pemberley. So those are our 3 Pride and Prejudice sets that are in stock right now. And then this is another fun one because Richard dyed this one as well. And this is called Austen Land. So not technically by Jane Austen, but a nod to Jane Austen.
It's Austen themed.
It's Austen themed.
Right.
Book by Shannon Hale, who, by the way, is a Utah author, and she is lovely. The movie is hilarious, especially Jennifer Coolidge. Oh my gosh, she's a crack up. So Austen Land. So those are all of our sock sets that are Jane Austen sock sets right now. And now we have a new collection. I'm so excited to share with you. And this one has 4 colorways, and I'm showing them all to you on Biography Sock. And these are the 4 colors. And this is all from Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. This is Narnia. And so here we have the stone table. You hold that one. This one is Deeper Magic. I love this one. Oh, see again, that turquoisey Caribbean blue is blowing out a little bit, but it's richer than it's showing up on the camera. Then we have Once a King or Queen. Once a king or queen of Narnia, always a king or queen. And Not a Tame Lion. Now I knit a sweater out of these. When I had these in my shop before, I knit a colorwork sweater out of these, and so I'm going to put a picture right here for you to see them. But I just think that they're beautiful, and those, yeah, I love all of these together.
See, these 2 are my favorites.
Yeah.
I like dark and I like blue.
Right, which would make sense that you probably wouldn't wear something knit out of this,
right.
But you would totally wear something out of that.
So I remember when you first started dyeing Narnia, and I was thinking about that. And as we walk out into our yarn dyeing studio,
yeah.
I've told you that you open the door and you walk into Yarnia.
Yeah.
It's Yarnia. Because you walk through that door and that's where the magic happens.
Yep, absolutely.
Once a yarnbrarian.
Always a yarnbrarian. So those are our fun Narnia colorways. Now, I told you back a little bit ago that if you stuck to the end, you would get to see the colorway that Richard dyed. And so here's the thing. I'm going to show you the colorway. Well, Richard is.
Oh, I get it.
Now, this is he designed this. Like, you came up with this whole thing from beginning to end. In fact, I wasn't even out there.
No, you were not. No, I wouldn't allow you out, actually.
No, yeah, he didn't want me to be out there. He wanted to just dye the yarn. And so we're going to show you the colorway, but this does not have a name. So we want you to help us name this colorway. And whichever name we pick, you're going to get a prize. So we'll explain that in just a minute.
Sounds good.
So here
this is the one I did.
Isn't it beautiful? It's so beautiful.
I like blue.
It's got like 3 or 4 different blues on there, and
4
some
blues,
greens.
Green speckles, and just a little bit of dark speckles. See them right there?
Yeah, little gray speckles in there. It's beautiful. I can't believe that that's really your first. I mean, it's not the first one you dyed because you've dyed yarn with me, but it's your first designed one.
But I had a great teacher, so.
But that is like, doesn't look like a beginner dyer. It's a beautiful one. And so I'm going to insert here a little bit of a video of some of the books that we think might be a good inspiration for this colorway. And so you look at that and, you know, you could maybe come up with a name inspired by one of those books, or it might be inspired by another book that we haven't, you know, put on that list. But if you pick, you know, it could be a character, it could be a place, but it needs to be recognizable, something that people would recognize. And so, yeah, if your name is selected, then you will get one of those skeins of yarn. And this is on DK right here. This is on,
that's on DK. Yeah.
This is on classic DK, isn't it? 7525. Yeah. And so you could either get a classic DK or you could get a contemporary sock or a biography sock in this colorway. That's up to you, your choice. Yay. So I hope you will comment. Help us name your beautiful yarn.
Thank you. Thanks. I'm not very good at the naming of things.
I love it. It's so beautiful.
It's fun.
It's really lovely. So awesome. I think that's everything that we have for you. So thank you for joining us. We will be back hopefully next week.
We'll see. See what else is boiling in the yarn bird.
Hopefully nothing's boiling in the yarn bird.
That's not what I meant.
What's steaming in
steaming,
there?
Okay. You can get steaming out in the yarn, can't it? Yeah.
In more ways than one.
Am I blushing again?
Yeah. It's fun to work together, though.
Yeah,
We're having a great time. All right. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.